Feeling the increasingly brilliant sacred aura before her, the light demon closed her eyes, awaiting death. The suffocating sensation caused her to temporarily forget how to breathe. Despair clouded her heart, leaving no time to think about anything else. Her heart completely shattered, she ceased all resistance, and could only wait quietly for death like a prisoner in chains. Crack! An immensely brilliant attack was about to obliterate the light demon, but it was torn apart by a shadow in an instant. Xiao, you shouldn't have come here. The light demon, Lu Yun, had already prepared for her fall. But after taking a breath, she saw the shadow before her tear through all the sacred light threads with just one person's strength and couldn't help but speak. But she knew that although this seemingly simple defense had been so easy, it had drained Xiao of far more energy than she could imagine. I promised him. Even if it means my body will be shattered into pieces. Xiao's eyes, filled with the essence of a demon, surged with an overwhelming wave of anger, and countless flames of fury erupted. His body leaked blood from every pore, for the earlier seemingly simple strike had indeed drained Xiao of much of his strength. His voice carried immense power, easily reaching every corner of the holy city, sparking the flames of battle in countless hearts. At this moment, Xiao's body trembled with the power of demons, yet the amber-colored sacred flames surged out. Together with the presence of the sacred flame garment and the dragon god transformation, Xiao barely managed to crush the holy punishment power that Blake had casually unleashed. No, no, no. You have no idea of Blake's true power. Leave now. Hearing Xiao's resolute words, the light demon's face showed a deeply ugly expression. Since her childhood, the three cardinals in red had been beyond comprehension in strength, and now, after 1,000 years, their power had reached a profound level. Blake was the leader of the three cardinals in red, and even Lu Yun couldn't fathom the extent of his strength. But Lu Yun knew that even with the combined might of all the powerhouses from the Dodi continent, none could handle Blake alone. For this was the power of reincarnation. Reincarnation? For the Great Thousand Worlds, it was a strategic force, and Blake's power might have reached several cycles of reincarnation, far beyond what the elders of the ancient races could rival. Very well, very well, very well. You are the first to dare openly defy the Holy Sea. Time and again, you have provoked the divine might of the Holy Sea. This time, you will remain here forever. Watching Xiao's actions, Blake and the priest behind him did not move. Only Blake spoke first, his voice calm, with a trace of pride and confidence. Why are you trying to place so many labels on me? This battle is already beyond resolution. Make your move. Xiao snorted coldly, his immense battle intent sweeping over him. Now, even without using his demon power, he could handle someone who had touched the power of reincarnation. The demon power was his trump card and would not be easily used. More importantly, Xiao's demon cube had already been drained. Using his demon power again would likely result in a backlash. I didn't want to make the first strike, but you've brought this upon yourself. Angel's radiance. With a movement of his hands, the sky above the holy city, tens of thousands of meters high, began to stir. A beam of dawn-like light shot down from the sky, aimed directly at Xiao. Xiao immediately felt his bloodline freeze, and an uncontrollable chill filled him. A heavy sense of death swept over him. Before the attack could land, the entire skyline of the holy city twisted violently, with flashing light and intense, sacred waves powerful enough to annihilate everything. Whom. Seeing this, Xiao's entire body erupted with the holy flame, all of his sacred flames swirling. The flames surged like a sea of fire, centered on Xiao, as the energies of the entire holy city were ignited. A faint explosive sound filled the air. With his strength at mid to late 8-star Do Xian, combined with the power of the Amber Rock Soul Flame, the impact was far from trivial. Just as Xiao was preparing to strike, a shadow flashed by, and a giant shield appeared before him, blocking the destructive attack. On the shield, mysterious and radiant lines shimmered, radiating a terrifying aura that sent chills down his spine. Clang, clang. Clang. When the two attacks collided, a sharp, ear-piercing sound rang out. The dazzling holy light shattered upon hitting the shield, crumbling away in an instant, but the shield remained completely unscathed. This is the infinite shield? Xiao took a closer look and found the shield glowing with golden light, exuding an ancient, timeless aura. Most importantly, Blake's terrifying attack had completely vanished upon contact with the shield. Hun Tianhao. Looking at this scene, Blake turned to the sinister man beside Xiao and said, "Hee, Blake, your holy see has been committing evil for thousands of years. This time, it seems like your death is imminent." Hun Tianhao controlled the unfinished infinite shield with his palm, standing in front of Xiao, smiling as he spoke. "And there's me. Me too." As Hun Tianhao made his move, many powerful figures seated on the holy city altar stood up in unison, rising into the air. A terrifying scene was formed, and they all spoke in unison. Soul clan, ancient races. Shiyu sect, Wanxiang pavilion, super sect. Good. Watching this scene, Blake's body slowly trembled, his voice becoming hoarse. Extreme anger surged in his chest. Bishop. At the same time, within the holy city below, countless devoted attendants had a look in their eyes as if they were ready to die. They mumbled on the ground, then raised their heads and looked at the scene in the sky, showing deep anger. The holy city was a place they considered sacred, absolutely not easily infiltrated by outsiders. Let's begin. Watching this, Blake unexpectedly shifted from anger to joy, his voice filled with enthusiasm. He then spoke to the priestess beside him. "Enter the city. Holy war. Holy war. Holy war." The aura around Priestess Yuri became exceedingly sharp, and she shouted loudly. Swish, swish. As soon as the words left her mouth, countless well-trained and formidable holy sea guards emerged from the foot of the holy mountain and the holy city, advancing in an orderly manner, surrounding the area. The sea of people looked like beams of light, rushing toward the area at high speed, creating an imposing scene. Among them were some powerful individuals with 8-star Do Xian strength leading the way, an exceptionally spectacular sight. It seems you were well prepared. Looking at this scene, Gu Abyss stepped forward and stood in front of everyone. He was the strongest here, and this step had to be taken by him personally. Maybe, but after today, the pattern of Do D continent will truly change. The Do D continent, which has been quiet for so many years, is about to undergo some changes. Blake smiled. At this moment, the boundless radiance behind Blake slowly gathered, suddenly surging violently under the gaze of countless people. A terrifying pressure gradually spread from his body, sweeping outward. That power was the power of the angels, sacred and inviolable, like reincarnation, invincible. On his face, a mad, crazed smile appeared. The smile was not just a ruthless mockery of these people, but also an absolute confidence in his own strength. The holy halo grew stronger and stronger, and the terrifying power emanating from it made the heavens and earth tremble with fear. That was reincarnation, the level of power capable of easily crushing everyone here. Indeed, it's powerful. Xiao and the ancient 7 clan leaders, located at the front of the group, faced the attack without reservation, feeling the extreme power up close. They couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. The power of the angels, the might of reincarnation, the two forces intertwined, sweeping through the entire holy city in a magnificent, dazzling display. The endless sacred aura made the heavens and earth here dim in comparison. So, what do you have to say now? Blake waved his hand, signaling the faith attendants, priests, and some powerful and ruthless guards behind him to step back. A mocking smile appeared on his face. This was the absolute suppression of strength. Let's work together to fend off the enemy. The situation is already beyond repair. Since we've reached this point, make sure you're in the right position. Gu Abyss stepped forward. The two energies, ice and fire, like two beautiful energy balls, quietly coiled behind him. Yet anyone could clearly feel the overwhelming power contained within him. With the dual attributes of water and fire, and the power of touching reincarnation, Gu Abyss was now likely strong enough to face reincarnation powerhouses head-on. Kill, kill, kill. You handle the other Holy See powerhouses. The 8 of us will take on Blake. Yao Wanyuan also stood behind Gu Abyss, an endless life force emanating from him. He was clearly ready to fight to the death. At this point, instead of fearing death, it was better to gamble with their lives and wisdom for a chance, however small. Okay. The other powerhouses nodded in agreement. Their strength was mostly around the 7-star Docian to the later stages of 8-star Docian. To rush into a battle of this level would likely mean certain death. Add me in. The ancient 8 clans can't go without our Xiao clan. Xiao Yin took a deep breath, his face serious as he spoke, fully aware that this situation was beyond his control, but he could not sit idly by. The 7 powerful warriors of the ancient 7 clans did not reject the offer. Although Xiao Yan's strength was weak, his possession of numerous treasures could certainly play a significant role. This guy's strength, I'm afraid, is no longer merely at the reincarnation stage. Second-tier reincarnation stage, such strength and audacity. Xiao Yin and his 8 companions slowly surrounded Blake, but none of them acted rashly to attack. Second-tier reincarnation stage. A genuine second-tier reincarnation power, unlike Lacey's half-baked strength. The pressure from Blake's power weighed heavily on the 8 of them, intense and scorching, more than any of them had ever felt. If they weren't careful, they could be completely annihilated here. Are the ancient 8 clans all gathered? Even the mighty Xiao clan ended up disappearing into the shadows. It's truly laughable. I wonder whether your so-called Xiao clan ended up as mere lackeys of the extraterritorial evil clan, or if there's another reason behind it. Blake didn't hurry to attack. After all, his goal wasn't to slaughter these people. He was waiting for a certain powerful figure to arrive. At the same time, he was gambling. Whether this powerful figure could return in time to save the light demon. But before that, these fools had to endure some suffering first. Only then would the chances of that person appearing increase significantly. Even the monster realm, the ruler of a realm, could gather information here with ease. However, making him appear required more than just this level of pressure. There were strict rules between the 7 realms. If a powerful figure from another realm broke those rules, they would face terrifying consequences. However, Blake was confident. Even the most dreadful punishment would pale in comparison to the situation of the Demon Emperor's beloved woman. The 8 surrounded him, all of them fully aware of the predicament they faced, and none of them dared to hold back. The 8 of them, except for Xiao Yin, had all experienced countless life and death battles, earning their positions as 8-star Docian and clan leaders. Boom, boom, boom. Moments later, the Lei clan's leader made the first move. Above the sky, black thunderclouds rapidly gathered, rumbling with lightning and thunder. The sounds of the roaring thunder spread far and wide, sending waves of unsettling energy through the air. Within the clouds, a rare and destructive thunderous aura seemed to be brewing, its power enough to shake the heavens. Without hesitation, the Lei clan's forbidden technique was unleashed from the start. Boom, boom, boom. Next, the Ling clan's leader moved. The void before everyone shook violently, and cracks appeared. From within, a massive spirit beast with emerald green fur crawled out. The spirit beast exuded a faint aura of vitality, its body resembling a celestial deer, graceful and agile. However, on its 2 antlers, a striking green light gathered, intense enough to pierce through the heavens and earth. Ling clan's forbidden technique. Moments later, the powerful figures from the other clans also launched their most powerful attacks. The Soul clan's leader had countless vengeful spirits and ghosts wailing behind him, and after a brief pause, they quickly merged in front of him to form a snow-white, eerie ghost sword, blood-curdling and ominous. Such a terrifying sword would likely leave the entire holy city in ruins if it struck. The Yao clan's leader conjured a towering green cauldron, exuding an aura of immense suppression. The Shi clan's leader, with a grim expression, summoned a giant stone shield that reached 1,000 feet in height, capable of blocking most attacks. And then, there was Xiao Yin. He inhaled sharply, revealing all his trump cards at once. Sacred Flame Armor, Fighting Spirit, Dragon God Transformation. All 4 transformations unleashed. Even the clan mark on his forehead shone with its unique power. Boom, boom, boom. 5 forces surged at once, and in an instant, a beautifully crafted lotus platform appeared in Xiao Yan's palm. Such a terrifying opponent. At this moment, even the other 7 powerful figures could sense a fluctuation from Xiao Yan's rotating Buddha's Fury reincarnation on his lotus platform. A power that rivaled their own attacks. Attack. We can't give him any chance. Although the forbidden techniques were terrifying, their power was greatly reduced in these sacred mountains, baptized by divine forces. They were no more than small-scale forbidden techniques now. A group of ants. 8 dazzling attacks, like 8 death gods coming to claim lives, each attempting to tear Xiao Yan apart. But his strength was clearly on a different level compared to theirs. This battle was too boring. Whoosh whoosh. Behind Blake, radiant light descended, forming ethereal wings that shimmered like precious treasures. A soft, milky white glow enveloped his body. With the added support of the angelic wings, he seemed poised to resist the 8's combined assault. Did Black really think he could withstand that with just a mortal body? In an instant, the countless holy sea guards below, along with the powerful warriors from the Doyun continent who were prepared to fight to the death, suddenly stopped, staring wide-eyed at the fierce battle in the sky. Boom! 8 extremely vicious attacks immediately set the entire holy city ablaze, raising the temperature to unbearable levels. The terrifying clash even caused a dangerous black hole vortex to form in the sky where the battle took place. The black hole vortex resembled a snarling devil, mercilessly devouring all living beings in this world, while at its core, the sacred light shone with exceptional brilliance. For a moment, it seemed to suppress the attacks of the others. The 8 attacks shattered within the black hole vortex, creating a thunderous explosion that shook the heavens and the earth. The dazzling energy caused the black hole vortex to twist violently, and an eerie, surreal feeling lingered in the hearts of countless onlookers. Even from thousands of meters away, they could feel a chill creeping across their skin, goosebumps rising, and cold sweat pouring down. The immense pressure on their hearts was undeniable, showcasing just how intense the combined assault from the 8 individuals was. Boom! The black hole vortex twisted furiously, and even as the dazzling energy exploded within, the wings of angels behind Black fully took shape. 5 purple angel wings emerged, each one carrying a strangely divine and otherworldly aura, transforming Black's entire figure into one that resembled a heavenly angel, a symbol of the divine seat. Bang! 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 The destructive power of the 8 attacks combined was enough to collapse the heavens and earth. But in the moment of the explosion, they were suddenly enveloped by the wings of angels behind Black. The seemingly terrifying black hole vortex and its internal power were laughable in front of the angelic wings, as if they were mere toys. Whoosh! Whoosh! The thunderous sound rang out again as the 5 purple angel wings behind Black gently fluttered. At the same time, the previously invincible black hole vortex collapsed without warning. With the angel wings blocking and isolating it, the black hole vortex emitted no destructive energy. Instead, it effortlessly transformed into countless strands of light that gently drifted downward. The 8 individuals quickly retreated, their eyes flashing with disbelief. Dirty ants, feel the wrath of an angel. Easily dismantling the combined attack of Xiao Yan and the others, Black's laugh was full of disdain. The 5 angel wings behind him flapped as a brilliant holy light, like a shooting star, gathered from the wings. However, the 2 sets of angel wings on either side of Black were severely twisted and misshapen. Due to the imbalance in energy, his body tilted awkwardly, one side higher than the other. But even so, it did nothing to hide the overwhelming power within Black, the kind of strength that could smite the heavens and the earth. Virum! Virum! The holy light meteor formed, and in an instant, it exploded like a dimensional shockwave, shooting countless blades of light directly at Xiao Yan and the others. Now, leave it to us. Sensing the terrifying blades of impact coming from the holy light meteor, an ancient voice suddenly echoed. Such an attack was definitely beyond what their combined 8-star Do Xian peak strength could handle. Crack! The space in front of Gu Abyss was torn apart as a mighty old man stepped forward. His eyes gleamed with a cold, killing intent, and he swung his hand violently. The sudden scene caused the terrifying impact of the meteor and the surrounding space to collapse completely. Gu Xingtian? Looking at this, Black exclaimed in surprise. Black, it's been a long time. Your attacks have certainly grown more vicious. Gu Xingtian stepped forward, and a mysterious energy rippled through the air, causing the entire holy city space to quieten as countless energy waves fell down. And we're here too. In the next moment, 6 figures appeared behind Gu Xingtian, each emanating powerful fluctuations, the power of reincarnation. The 7 grand elders of the ancient race? Looking at the 7 figures before him, Black felt no fear, only an indescribable excitement. With the power of reincarnation, he had summoned the angel wings the moment he attacked, forcing these grand elders into the open. The grand elders were their final hope. If Black could crush their last line of defense, he would be one step closer to suppressing the light demon and using that desperate situation to potentially draw out the demon emperor. Everything was part of his plan. Gu Xingtian gazed at Blake, who had manifested angel wings high above, a fierce smile curling on his face. It was a grin that made others uncomfortable. It's been a long time. I never expected you'd break through to the second stage. I'm truly surprised. Blake's eyes flickered as a terrifying attack slowly gathered. Your strength has improved quite a lot. This time, let's settle this once and for all. Gu Xingtian's voice rumbled like thunder, shaking the heavens and the earth. The terrifying pressure sent weaker individuals into a state of paralysis, draining their will to fight. Holy Angel's hand. Blake had no intention of wasting words with the elders. With a loud shout, a terrifying attack followed swiftly. Blake's hand suddenly reached out into the void before him. Instantly, the energy within the holy city surged violently, the light of the world dimming in an instant. Sacred light threads rapidly converged toward his palm. The holy angel's hand was pure white, flawless, radiating the most divine aura. It gathered atop Blake's right hand, with swirling milky white patterns moving as though endless angelic hymns were spreading out, emanating an ethereal and tranquil aura. Even more strangely, a faint angelic soul shadow appeared above the holy angel's hand. Space Strangle. Facing Blake's world-shattering move, Gu Xingtian roared, unleashing his space powers to their extreme. His hands glowed with an ancient silver radiance as they reached out together. In an instant, a massive silver vortex formed before Gu Xingtian, carrying an unparalleled aura of death. It collided head-on with Blake. Blake let out a sinister laugh as his angel wings flapped. His body boiled like the blazing sun, moving faster than a shadow. The holy angel's hand crossed in front of him, suddenly darting toward Gu Xingtian. Boom, boom, boom. The dazzling divine aura swirled around the holy angel's hand and entered the silver vortex, where countless spatial energies pierced through the angelic soul shadow. However, no substantial damage was done, and Blake's smile grew even more maniacal. It seems this so-called second stage of reincarnation isn't so terrifying after all. The holy angel's hand suddenly exploded, unleashing boundless sacred energy that tore through the silver vortex Gu Xingtian had summoned. The vortex trembled violently, showing signs of collapsing. Poof! Gu Xingtian was sent flying back hundreds of meters. The overwhelming brightness sent his internal energy into chaos. His throat went dry, and a streak of crimson blood slowly oozed from the corner of his mouth. Rumble! Within the silver vortex, countless rays of light shot out, piercing through the vortex like arrows. After a moment, the vortex suddenly shattered into pieces, right before the eyes of all the spectators. How could this be? Looking at Gu Xingtian, who was as strong as the second stage of reincarnation, severely wounded by a single move from Blake, Xiao Yin and the 8 other elders, including the newly arrived 6 elders, looked incredibly tense. Their eyes glowed with a chilling coldness, focused intently on Blake, whose divine radiance illuminated the sky. At that moment, a rare sense of dread settled in their hearts. It seemed that before Blake, all power was reduced to mere dust, insignificant and helpless. The sky was silent for a moment before returning to its usual state. "Old man, are you all right?" Yao Tianma quickly helped Gu Xingtian up, his expression turning strangely serious. He handed over a small, exquisite high-tier pill to him. At this point, he could no longer afford to care about the rarity of this 7th-grade celestial pill. If they lost this battle, it would be the end of any hope for them. His power is definitely not like an ordinary second stage of reincarnation. Gu Xingtian shook his head, swallowing the pill. The gentle, pure energy slowly dissolved within him, stabilizing the swirling reincarnation force inside, with his own efforts aiding in controlling it. But in his eyes, a trace of bloodshot veins and deep meaning appeared. When powerful beings clashed, a single move was enough to tell the difference. In the brief confrontation between himself and Blake, though he hadn't used his full strength, he had at least exerted 60% of his power, and Blake had done the same. Given that, his defeat with a single move made Gu Xingtian's expression grow even more somber. It seemed that Blake, as the leader of the Holy Sea's Cardinals, still had his own pride. "There's still a chance. With our combined strength, including the full strength of the reincarnation powers and 8-star Docian perfects, we can make a final strike." Several elders frowned and approached. At this moment, the only way to stand a chance against Blake was to pool their powers into one person, using it to counter him. Among them, the strongest, Gu Xingtian, who had just entered the 2nd stage of reincarnation, stood as the last hope. Only with his strength and the combined force of so many powerful beings did they have even a slight chance to fight Blake. No one else would be able to withstand him. "Leave it to me." Gu Xingtian nodded, his voice ancient and weary. He clenched his fists tightly, a sense of righteousness rising within him. "Little one, you are a descendant of the Xiao clan." Gu Xingtian spoke softly to Xiao Yin, the implication clear. Xiao Yin nodded. At this moment, there was no need to overly display heroism. His main goal was the light demon. If they defeated Blake, everyone would rejoice. But if they lost, the consequences would undoubtedly be grave. A group of deluded fools. Today, not only will I eliminate the light demon, but all of you present will also fall alongside her. Holy Sea Guards, kill. Exterminate all heretics who harbor ill intentions toward the Holy Sea. The thunderous voice descended from the skies, weighing heavily on many hearts. Kill, kill, kill. With Blake's command, the dense array of Holy Sea Guards surged into the air like killing machines, moving with incredible speed. Bright energy erupted from their bodies as they launched deadly assaults against the ancient powerhouses below. Clash. The formidable forces clashed violently, creating a scene of chaos. The entire holy city trembled with an unsettling energy. Attack. This is our last chance. The 7 reincarnators, along with the ancient powerhouses, released their profound Do Qi, converging in the sky and gradually transforming into a heavenly blade, gathering before Gu Xingtian. Its range surpassed thousands of feet, effectively imprisoning the entire holy city within the void, power swirling, gathering countless profound energies. Meanwhile, the 5 angelic wings behind Blake began to stir, radiating shimmering ripples of light, resonating with the fierce sun above, as if a unique divine energy from a distant starry expanse slowly approached. Indeed, it has come to this. You should not have come. I am merely a heretic burdened with grave sins, unworthy. The light demon, bound to the cross, trembled as she spoke, blood trickling from the corner of her mouth, her pallid face betraying weakness. As she watched the confrontation between Gu Xingtian and Blake, she couldn't help but tremble. "I'm here to help you." Xiao Yin appeared beside the light demon, radiant energy manifesting as he attempted to shatter the cross-shaped cage and rescue her. Bold. At that moment, Priestess Yuri stepped in front of Xiao Yin, her 8-star Do Xian late-stage power exuding an imposing aura. "Step aside." A roar erupted from Xiao Yan's chest, a a fierce gust of wind forcing her back several meters as he advanced toward the cross. Rip! His hand touched the holy chains of the cross, and a wave of divine energy lashed out like a hot brand, mercilessly whipping and burning Xiao Yan's soul, causing him immense pain. Roar! 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 At that moment, the demonic power within Xiao Yan instinctively protected him, erupting forth in concert with the sacred flame, overwhelming the chains, which began to show signs of melting. Five-winged rainbow glow. A deep voice boomed like a torrent, causing the 10 holy pillars outside the holy city to crack under the extreme pressure, tiny fissures appearing before suddenly shattering into dust. The combatants below felt the intensifying attack from above and, unable to resist, looked up during the skirmish. They witnessed a sudden dramatic transformation in the heavens. The once blazing sunlight dimmed instantly, the sun itself vanishing without a trace, replaced directly by an endless, deep, and brilliant starry sky. The 5 angelic wings behind Blake radiated a magnificent glow, fusing completely with the celestial expanse. In the distant starry sky, massive water columns burst forth, within which ethereal maidens danced gracefully. Their elegant movements resembled a ritual, a song. At the center of dozens of women, a wisp of 7-colored rainbow light flickered in and out of view. As the radiant rainbow light emerged from the far reaches of the starry sky, flowers, grasses, and trees throughout the holy mountain and holy city bloomed in abundance, a rich breath of life and purity pervading the entire sky. Everyone felt an irresistible force above them. That was divine might, a power no mere mortal could withstand. Heaven, blade, slash. Faced with such a terrifying strike, Gu Xingtian floated in midair, his profound power boiling within him, temporarily granting him the strength of half-step third tier. Fall mortals. The rainbow-colored mist responded to Blake's call, gently shaking, and with a blink, it seemed to fall like a meteor, crashing down from the other side of the starry sky. Endless divine power, accompanied by a sacred halo, surged like a river from the heavens, sweeping across the starry sky with the rainbow mist in tow. Boom! In the sky above the holy city, the clash between the two forces spread throughout the heavens and earth, filling the air with an overwhelming, almost unbearable sense of dispersion.